ready to be discovered yet. Therefore, if anyone tries to pass the force field, it's going to defend itself, and it's going to use force to defend itself. And you ain't going to get past it. Sorry.
Despite these warnings, the military tried to proceed further past the force field and the protective plate. That is when strange and various anomalies appeared in the Saricina region. Villagers began seeing UFOs in the area, ghostly figures, and some of the villagers claimed that they were having thoughts that were not their own.
Now, it was reported that Baba Vanga said the following to the military to try to warn them. She said, when excavations were carried out in Saricina, the aliens told me that the research should be stopped. Don't dig. It's not your time. There is the center of the earth. At a depth of 2,000 kilometers, there are crystals. One is big, like the sun. Do not touch it. People will not reach it, but they will disturb the atmosphere. It is a large crystal that is dangerous and will remain there as long as the earth exists. It controls digging because otherwise the earth will die. Hard days will come for your people. There will be many new terrible diseases if you continue to dig in the Saricina hole.
There is hell in the hole, but it is not hell. There are people living there like you, but their origin is different. There is also a space device. It was sent by an extraterrestrial civilization. There are astronauts down there. Thousands of years ago, when your country did not exist, a civilization from another planet sent a spaceship with 3 astronauts to Earth. These were not people, but robots. They were sent to investigate life on Earth, but they were damaged, and the spacecraft crashed into Saricina, and with every meter you dig, more and more radiation will be emitted. Do not dig in the pit of Saricina. Now is not your time.
What type of radiation is she talking about?
I have no idea.
See,
people just throw that word around without knowing.
Yeah, I know. They kind of use that as a scare tactic. The radiation emitting. It's like, come on now. All right. So that right there is what Baba Vanga said to them, to the Bulgarian military. But what did they do? They said, F you. Well, they didn't really say it to Baba Vanga, but they just kind of ignored her. And they just kept trying to dig. Now, as they continued to dig, people, of course, started to get injured, and the machinery that they were using started to break down. Now, during this entire time, Loganova, the other psychic medium, was just chilling up top, and she was saying that, hey, I'm still receiving these messages from this entity. And the Bulgarian military was like, well, then write it down then. Quit telling us. Write it down. We want to know what they're saying. So she wrote it down, and this is what she was quoted saying.
These were encrypted letters. In total, I received over 1,000 pages of codes during the excavation of Saricina. The texts are incredible. This is a collection of ancient scriptures telling about the history of man's creation, how he was created, how he was brought to Earth, how he should survive, and what we must do to keep the Earth alive. The Earth is part of the overall planetary synchronicity. This cosmic civilization wants the Earth to survive. Synchronicity cannot be broken because then the chaos will come. This information is contained in codes in an encrypted letter received in Saricina.
They also talk about the so-called energy people. They are marked by them, and through the energy of humans, they maintain synchronicity on Earth. They prefer to make contact in order to get this information because it is very difficult, and not every brain can process this amount of information. I know this is true. So that's what Loganova wrote down, okay, and what she said. And we do have an image of one of those pages of messages that she wrote down in her journal, which, of course, we'll provide that image on the Patreon post for everyone to go take a look at. And also, there are many more images of her journal, supposedly. But the original journals themselves, of course, are no longer around. They just simply vanished. But that is a very weird page of writing. What the hell is that?
They don't even know.
You know what that looks like? Have you ever seen the movie Aliens versus Predators? Or just the basic movie Predator? You know when he flips open his device at the end and he hits those buttons to do the self-detonate and he starts laughing? That. Well, those buttons that he hits looks just like that writing. Hold on. Let me look that up. Predator self-destruct buttons.
I mean, some of them look like they could.
Here it is. I got it. I'll throw this up on the Patreon post for everyone to take a look at as well.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
A doctor's handwriting.
It's exactly what it looks like when he writes my prescription. I'm like, what the hell did you write?
Now, a fun fact about that, you think that their handwriting is just really bad, but that's actually a certain way that they write. Each like little scribble and stuff, like circle, round lines, all that stuff, actually has a meaning. So they're actually writing your prescription right. It's just in a different form of writing.
I did not know this. Knowledge nuggets.
I forgot what it was called, but it's pretty much a way so they don't have to write out the whole word and stuff. It's pretty much like shortcut to writing.
Okay. Well, thank you for those knowledge nuggets.
You're welcome.
Anyways, so continue on with the story, Dan.
So like we said before, there were injuries during this excavation, especially with the involvement of other psychics trying to help out. The Bulgarian army actually brought in a few different psychics to help out, but a lot of them could not stand such a volume of work and ended up quitting, while some of them said the messages acted like a shock to them, which they couldn't handle that.
What do you mean like a shock? Like they were shocked by the amount of messages that were being sent out of the hole?
Yeah, I'm guessing it was just like too much information at one time coming at them.
Oh, damn. Well, you have to think that entity or being was like, look, hey, who's ever up there, quit digging. I'm down here. Quit digging.
Which I'm going to assume that this one psychic named Marina Napolitanova,
Great pronunciation, by the way.
but she actually committed suicide during these excavations.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Dan. Thought you were going to say something good like she saw the entity. No, instead, she offed herself. Now, was that because of the entity yelling stuff up above?
To be honest, no one really specified why she did it, but it happened while I guess she was there during the excavations or while she worked there.
Oh, Jesus. Well, rest in peace, Marina. I'm sorry Dan butchered your name.
I'm sorry.
All right, so let's continue on with the story. So they kept digging, kept bringing in psychics, they kept leaving or offing themselves. Then, all of a sudden, on November 19th, 1992, the Bulgarian army personnel gathered together and they collected their supplies, they tore down their tents and their equipment. They said, we're up out of this bitch. But before we leave, let's fill this hole. So they ended up pouring concrete into that hole and sealed it up for good. And they grabbed all of their stuff that was packed up and left like nothing had ever happened.
They gave no explanation to any had found anything or what they were looking for. There was no official report that we could find, and most of the documentation for the operation is still considered classified or has gone missing. And that right there is the mystery of the Sarachina Hole, or as some like to actually call it, the Bulgarians' Area 51, which we get into a little bit of that here in Strange Facts and Findings.
Which, yeah, that's our next thing, is transitioning into Strange Facts and Findings. But before we do, I just want to say, Dan, I was looking up flights to Bulgaria. We can get a flight to Bulgaria for around $400 to $500 round trip.
I gotta get a passport.
Let's just go there and look for the hole ourselves that's been concreted over.
I knew you were gonna ask about that.
Can we not? Is it like protected or something?
It is not protected, but here I will insert an image. Now, you won't really find it.
Oh, come on. That's just a picture of a damn side of a road. Somebody just put a circle around it.
Okay, you caught me on that one. But no, supposedly there is a rock there now that has like some writing on it. But from the documentary I watched, that rock was supposed to mark where the hole was dug and then like where they put concrete. But he said it's actually 100 or so meters away from there. But it's actually covered up with like grass and everything now. I guess they put dirt got put over it and everything, and then grass grew over top, so you don't even see it. It's like there's literally nothing happened there.
Well, it's only been 30 years. It's like it hasn't been like over 100, 200 years. So I'm pretty sure if this did happen, locals there have to have some information as to where this hole is located.
More than likely.
I want to go there, and I want to take a Geiger Mueller meter. I got a little Frisker, and I got my little dose rate meter. I'm going to take those. We're going to walk around.
All right.
And we need to contact Loganova. Take her with us, too. Is she still alive?
I think so. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope, that's the wrong Loganova.
Honestly, this is something I want to do. I want to go to these areas and look for ourselves. Yeah, it looks like she's still alive. She has a Facebook account. And she has an Instagram. I'll hit her up on Instagram. Ooh, she was on Wheel of Fortune.
Is this the same one?
And probably not.
This one's very young.
Yeah, it's probably like a granddaughter or something.
Yeah.
There was an older chick. She's on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know what she's saying.
God, the freaking images of Baba Vangali skills me.
Yeah. I don't know if she's alive.
Baba Vanga? She's dead.
No, Loganova. But, I mean, I think Loganova did write a book about the Sarachina hole, but I wasn't able to find it. Nor the Colonel Kavnev. He actually wrote a book, like, after this incident, and I'm not able to find it, even though they said he wrote a book. It's weird.
That is weird. Look what I found. You see this one? It's a picture of that rock near that same road.
Yeah, so that's the rock that I was talking about.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, see, it's weird, like, the rock's not there in the other picture I found. But yeah, like, supposedly that was supposed to mark the spot, but from what the guy in the documentary said, that is not where the hole was dug. It's just like a little landmark they decided to put there.
That's weird. All right, well, let's transition into strange facts and findings. All right, Dan. Tell us about this first strange fact and finding we got.
Alright, so our first strange fact and finding is about a paranormal hotspot. So get this. After Bulgarian military had dug around Sarachina, the area became a hotspot for paranormal phenomena. Which, it's actually been known for like UFO sightings before they actually started digging, but whatever they did seemed to like intensify the sightings more. So while they were digging, there were about 15 appearances of UFOs that had been registered.
Then, on July 16th, 1993, a scientific expedition team consisting of an engineer, a student, another person from the University of Sofia, they were sent out to Sarachina. They were equipped with powerful binoculars.
That I laughed at that part too. It's like, oh, I got binoculars. We're gonna figure this shit out.
We're gonna give you powerful binoculars. The fuck would they need those for? Anyways, I'm sorry. So they were given powerful binoculars, highly sensitive film, and equipment for tracing extreme electromagnetic radiation that was to collect evidence which would confirm reports of the area of Sarachina as a UFO hotspot.
So I'm guessing they assume that the area with all the UFOs would be getting off or emitting some type of radiation. Is that what they were looking for?
Yeah, I guess so. Some extreme electromagnetic radiation. Yeah.
Well, the team was there for about 20 days, where their work had led them to come across a number of odd incidents. They were there for the so-called triple sun phenomenon, or aka sundog, which if you don't know what that is, let us tell you. It's when the sun rises and then it looks like there's a sun on each side of the sun, to make it look like there are actually three when there's just one. It's pretty much when there's like ice crystals in the air and the sunlight reflects off of them, making another image of the sun on each side, which we have a photo of what that looks like, which kind of cool.
That is so weird. I've never even heard about this before in my entire life.
I've heard about it once before, but I always thought it was just like a, what they called a, like halo over the sun, because it kind of starts to make a circle, but it's not a full circle.
Sort of looks like a dome.
We're stuck in a dome.
Yeah, it's weird. I want to see that sundog phenomenon.
Dude, so do I.
Not the appearances of poltergeists that they had. Anyway, all right. So along with this triple sun thing that they saw, which was totally normal, I guess, they also encountered 21 unidentified flying objects in that 20-day period. Holy shit. That's a lot. So then on July 26th, the villagers of Sarachina observed a strange object